from the start to the finish. This is what we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you for a wonderful prayer, Engineer Kantomato. At this moment, the program has just begun, and I would like to use this opportunity to introduce the high table to you all. Then we'll continue from there. In our midst from the back, I think I may be mixing some names, so I will wish that they pick the mic and introduce themselves one after the other for you to know them and know them well. So wherever you meet them, you'll be able to identify them. So from here.
Hello, good morning. Yeah. My name is Engineer William Apia Yeboah, the Northern Sector Treasurer.
Good morning. My name is Engineer F.P. Amua, IET Council member.
All invited guests, good morning. I'm of a great pleasure to give this welcome address. This is the first time IET is having its induction and inauguration on this campus. I'm also not very sure of inauguration of student membership, whether it has happened before. I think this is the first time IET is also inaugurating student membership. It's a great news because it's going to be the beginning of such activities in the engineering profession. I'm also a member of one of the subcommittees of Engineering Council of Ghana. And it is a must that we have student membership in the engineering profession in Ghana. People in the past have related, and I must say before this, that in Ghana, only 2 engineering profession bodies are recognized by the Engineering Council. That's the Engineering Association of Ghana, Ghana Engineering Association. Then we have the Engineering Association or Engineering, that's the Institution of Engineering. Become a member of any professional body. One important thing that you don't have to lose sight on is what we call continuous professional development, CPD, continuous professional development. Every organization, professional organization, operates in a cyclical mode. Cyclical mode means that when you become a member, you are given membership for a period, mostly it's 1 year. The maximum we can find in anywhere in the part of the world is 3 years. And within that period, you need to attend what we call continuous professional development trainings to develop yourself, to add to your knowledge the existing trends and the current trends that are being introduced in the field of your specialization. So you need to accrue some number of points, and at the end of your cycle, based on the satisfaction of that requirement, your membership can be renewed. If you don't attend professional development training to gain continuous professional development points, when the cycle of 1 year ends, you cannot be able to renew your membership. When you become a member today, it's not a lifetime. You have to renew your membership from time to time as stipulated by the institution. You are all welcome to Amstead, new auditorium, and I believe we are going to enjoy this short ceremony. Thank you very much.
I think he deserves better. Let's give him. At this juncture, we will call upon the main guest speaker in the name of Professor Stephen Johnson to be with us. Let's give him a hand.
Thank you very much, MC. The President's IET, Engineer Harry Kojo Boateng, the Executive Secretary, Engineer Seth Eyim, the Dean Faculty of Technical Education, my own colleague, Professor Humphrey Danso. We were once in Russia together. And life was not easy at all. I know there are a lot of very important personalities at the back there, council members, etc. of IET. Invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is really a great pleasure for me to be part of today's historic event. It seeks to make you student members of the Institute of Engineering and Technology. As it was said earlier, in fact, this is the very first time that such a program is occurring at Kotech, Hampstead. And it is extremely historic. And I want to believe that it will continue in times, to come. The reason is that when it comes to training of technical and vocational education, graduates, we are the people supposed to oversee all these things. And if you look at the socio-economic position of Ghana now, you are the people who can really move the economy forward. And we are supposed to lead that vision. Now we don't want people who can just read and write. We want people who can set up their own businesses and be on their own. I have always said it. I have never seen any serious engineer who is holding his certificate going around and looking for a job to do. Now what's the essence of your training? Your training should provide you with critical thinking ability, innovative skills. You are the people supposed to lead the change. All the developed world, they've developed, not because of people who were trained to be. He's a fitter. Yes, he's a fitter. But he should be able to innovate. When time changes, you should change. Now, with the climate change, it is still raining. Since May or so, it has been raining and raining and raining and raining. So if an agriculturalist, are you going to talk about minor season and major seasons? No. You must change. I remember my first car that I bought. All the features discouraged me from buying, is it front wheel drive, front wheel or whatever it is. We used to have the back what? The back axle. They said back axle good, front whatever it is bad. Then I remember I asked one guy, so if it is a back axle and it is 10 years old, and a front this thing and it is 1 year old, which is better? He said the back one is better, even if it is 10 years old. Just because they didn't want to change. Institute of Engineering and Technology is a body that seeks to inspire, inform, and influence global engineering community to engineer a better world. It is not a local organization. Don't see yourselves to be local team. It's an internationally recognized organization. It shares knowledge. If you read your vision statement, I know a program has been given to you. Take time to read the vision statement, the mission. and their strategic vision. It's extremely important. They share knowledge and help make better sense of the world in order to solve the challenges that matters. I am of the view that our economy is where it is because we, the scientists, to a large extent, we failed the nation. We still continue to do almost the same thing, the same way. We need to change. Where are the engineers? To what extent are we influencing the nation's policies? We look around, almost all the burdens, I don't really understand. We put our burdens in Africa, within Sahara region, where the sun is extremely hot. Then after we put off the burden, we cover it with what? Glasses. Then after that, we then fix an air condition to cool inside. When we don't have enough electricity, where are the engineers? And what are we doing? To what extent are our voices heard? I've been questioning and interviewing people who have been living in such houses. And most of them tells me it is not comfortable at all, yet they are living in it. And some are removing their louver braids and fixing it with these gases. Even last Sunday, almost all the time when I move on, I've been asking questions and asking. A friend engineer told me until he got into it, he didn't know how uncomfortable those burdens are. We stood there for about 30 minutes, just discussing these engineering flaws. To what extent are we really influencing engineering activities in the country? Engineers have turned themselves to become politicians because that's where the money is. We are compromising our values. Your decision to become a student member and also a full member is in the right direction. I have given a lip service to it. In fact, some years back, I and Professor Danso wanted to join. That day they are writing the exams at Kumasi Technical University, I was to go and do a galamsey somewhere to get money. So I sacrificed that. I'm sure the next induction I will join. I belong to other professional associations. But as I see the beautiful red ties and the red shirts, if they will give me permission, like I will move my food and join them. But that will also not be right. The decision is right because a time is coming in the near future where one cannot practice or even teach engineering program if you are not a member of any of such professional associations or bodies. In Ghana, we have only 2 engineering professional bodies: the Ghana Institute of Engineers, then the Institute of Engineers and Technology. There used to be a lot of psychological battle between the 2. But I want to tell you that your association seems to stand tall because you seem to embrace the grassroots people, the grassroots engineers. In some other associations, I remember if you can't speak the slangs, you couldn't join. And it's not right. I schooled at KNUST. I was a student member of Ghana Institute of Engineers. Maybe because people never understood what engineering really means. Because in agriculture there is engineering there. In energy there is engineering there. Water supply, there is engineering there. Food, there is engineering there. And let me give you a story. When I was in Russia, Professor Lanson, one morning I decided to prepare egg. You know I'm a fancy man. And when I wanted to use margarine to fry the egg instead of oil. I like sweetens. When I placed the margarine in the frying pan, I don't know whether because I was missing my wife in Ghana, the thing turned into water. Maybe it was a mistake. There was water in the frying pan. So I poured it out to the sink. Then I put a new margarine in it. Then it also turned into water. Well, I used the water to fry the egg because I had to eat. After everything, I went back to my room. Then I asked a Kenyan friend, the margarine turned into water. Then he told me this is food engineering. The margarine that they eat there is not like the margarine we eat here, 100% fats. But then, from food engineering and things, it is water majority and oil small. And it tastes nice. So even in food, engineering is there. But some people had the notion that engineering is only about putting up of buildings and designing of cars. And so a lot of people were left out. I wouldn't be surprised if you have some of the catering students here being inducted as engineers. And it's a plus for your body. To be honest with you, you've not made a mistake at all. Because by being a member of this association, now with all respect, a student member can now associate with all the important personalities here. You can walk to their office straight and discuss with them anything that you do. And in the world today, your links is even more than the certificate that you hold. You need somebody to introduce you to get what you want. I'm telling you on point of authority. The number of times I've been going to the Parliament House because I needed somebody to speak on my behalf for something. Now you can walk to the offices of all the people here and you get what you need. It will improve your career opportunities. And you have greater influence within organizations and industry. Look, you are now a new family. Hardly will I walk to Professor Danso's office. And if what I need for him is not immoral or not right, that he will not do it for me. He will do it. It's going to give you new opportunities to connect to influential people, as I've said. And today marks the beginning of your path to greatness in your career. As you pursue your enviable career as engineers, I wish to remind you that your studies and career practice should aim at supporting the global community in achieving the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations, for making the world a better place for us, to live in. In that, engineers are by their training problem solvers and innovators. Whether it's to do with transportation, building, medical service, or energy sources. With the rapid rates at which changes are taking place in the world today, we all have to keep on our toes to stay ahead of the curve. And this is especially true in the engineering world. I wish you well in your career as engineers, and may God richly bless you. Thank you very much.
You can do better. You can do better.
Thank you very much, Prof. In fact, Prof has said it all. I would have wished we even close from here, but that cannot be. At this juncture, I will call on the Executive Secretary to take the podium.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Excited to be here this morning with you. Not only the excitement of the moment, but where IET has come to. If I cast my mind back some years back when I joined the institution, we didn't have induction like this. And this moment gives me a great joy because IET has come of age. Let me share a little story with you. When I was a child, they used to call me a child. Then as I grow, my name was changed to a small boy. Then as I move on, the small was taken out and I used to be called a boy. Then later my name, I realized people were calling me young man. Then later they changed the young man to a man. Now they call me senior citizen. But I realized that anytime my name changes, it comes with a new sense of responsibilities. So as you sit before me this morning, your title is going to be changed, and engineer or engineering technologist is going to be added to your name. And from now, cite yourself that you will have a new sense of responsibility in your profession. Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to begin by welcoming everyone here. I also congratulate you all for coming out successfully in your assessment process. We are very glad that our institution has a new batch of professionals being inducted and inauguration of students membership today. This is an opportunity to the road of future career development and progression. On behalf of the institution, I welcome the new professionals to the licensing stream, and I also welcome the students to our great institution. I would like to thank those who contributed to the organization of this ceremony. A lot of work has gone in putting things together like this. You need a teamwork. And I want to thank Engineer Kello and other colleagues who put this thing together. Thank you very much. My task at this juncture is to talk about article of induction, and I'm happy to discharge this duty because of its significance to the institution. This is to enlighten you on procedures, values, and other vital information about IET and your new level of responsibilities in your career path. The challenge set before you today is to maintain a high professional and leadership standard set forth by IET and to serve as examples for the achievement of excellence in the field of engineering and whichever level you find yourself in. I will at this juncture itemize some key areas that require more attention as a newly inductee. What are your obligations? To advance your chosen profession of engineering and technological practice to the benefit of the Ghanaian society and beyond. This shall be undertaken through the following. A. Adhere to high professional standards by learning from other professionals in your area of practice who are members of the institution, and to take such steps as may be necessary to continue your mentorship process with acceptable standards as practitioners of engineering and technology. I want to expand a little here. By virtue of your training and your professional level you've achieved today, I have no doubt in my mind that you're going to climb through the professional ladder. You're going to climb through the professional ladder. Some are going to be supervisors, heads of department, directors, And I would like to give you a very good advice. Don't go out there with a high shoulders raised. There are artisans in the field that you are going to work with. They are good. They started work, some of you were not even born. We have sea benders there, they have the carpenters, we have the masons, we have all those employees, there's artisans there. They are very good in whatever they are doing. Please, learn from them. I said this in Takrade, I think last 2 weeks before we went there. Please, ask questions. Humble yourself and work with them as a team. If you don't understand anything that they are doing, ask them. Because they have a lot of information that they can share with you. Knowledge, no matter how it's acquired, is always useful. Whether you're learning on the street, or in the swimming pool, or in the sea, or the skill level, it is always useful and you can apply it whatever necessary. Humble yourself and learn from the artisans. They are equally good. But because you have achieved, you have added kind of academic to yours, of course, you are more brighter than them, of course, yes, but they have something to share with you. Take advantage of that. Maintain a library of books and periodicals and such other materials relating to technological methods, procedures, and practices while encouraging the publication of such books and periodicals, etc. Encourage research and timely utilization of results for the benefit of society. If I cast my mind back again, there are a lot of change that has come into the system. We used to, I remember my time, we were using this big telephone, you have to dial with that kind of thing. But now, we don't have that anymore. We have mobile phones. The migration of that time to this time, this kind of thing is more of a research. Now, new things are coming. Very soon, we are going to have electric cars, and we are not going to have automobile, like you see what do we call it, the engine and all those kind of things. Electric cars where you plug in and you get power to drive the bike. You need to research into these things. And those who are doing the research are going to get money because they started the research program. So you also, as a young engineers and professionals, go to that, do research, and you will get a lot of benefit from it, and the whole society will benefit also. Facilitate the exchange of information and ideas relating to or concerning engineering practice and advancement. Research new trends in your area of practice and publish your views on matters of public importance. Undertake such lawful activities conducive to the attainment of the above. All members shall subscribe to the Constitution, regulations, code of ethics, policies, and procedures of the institution. Please, we are giving you the book. Please read it carefully and know what is expected from you. Confirmed professional engineers and engineering technologists shall be entitled to use the prefix ENGR before their names. I think this one needs a clap because you are going to have a title. Any member satisfying the constitutional requirement for any class of membership may apply for upgrade when necessary. All such fees shall be paid in on time. Here too is another important area for me which I want to hammer on. The IET is not a commercial venture, it's a professional institution, and we need your money to operate. Without money, we can't survive. Our coming here, all these programs is membership money. It's like a car without petrol, the car cannot move. The money is the fruit of the institution running the operations. Please, don't take your certificate and your stamp, and because you got a title engineer, then that's the end of it. Please, you have to sustain your membership by paying your subscription. Without that, we can't survive. So please, pay your subscription every year so that the institution can survive. People have paid since this institution was instituted, and by the subscription we'll be able to maintain ourselves up to this time. So you also have to join so that we can move the institution up. Demonstrate good stewardship of any responsibility that may be assigned to you as professionals. When I say this, I don't want to sound like I'm doing politics. Ghana is the only country that we have. Ghana is the only country that we have. We don't have any Ghana. This is the Ghana we have. And at my age, if I cast my mind back, I can see that Ghana is sinking. But you, the young, because we are also facing now, you are going to take over from us, please. And I will advise you to take a good responsibility of anything that will be handed over to you as supervisors, as heads of department, managers. Please, take good stewardship of anything that will be handed to you and make sure that you lift Ghana up and you move Ghana up. My last statement is that the certificates that are going to be issued to you, which is here in front of us now, is not a certificate that is going to do the work, okay? It is you yourself. You need to exhibit some key competency indicators as engineers and professionals so that you drive IET up. Wherever you go, let your membership of the institution stand out. You are not just read and write engineer, you are a practical engineer. Please, you yourself, develop yourself by reading more, learning more, and let IET stand up, and also promote yourself as a professional engineer. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the newly inducted members of IET. Please join us in giving them a rousing welcome into IET. Thank you. Thank you all for being here today and taking the time to patiently listen to what I have to say. I wish you all a blessed day and successful career. Long live Ghana, long live IET.
We can do better. We can do better. At this juncture, we move on to the student membership. I think at the moment we have about 166 student members. And if my mind will serve me right, I was informed this morning that there has been an addition, which is running up to about 200. Let us clap for ourselves as students. So now, we will invite the student leadership to come in front here for us to introduce them and then to take in their oaths. So the student leadership, if you are here, please come forward. So I will call upon the president. He will come and then take you through the oaths. So the student leadership, where are they?
In the name of Almighty God swear that having been elected for the office of for the Institution of Engineering and Technology Ghana, Amstead Student Chapter, I will bear true faith and allegiance to IET, its constitution, vision and structures, that I dedicate myself to the service and well-being of IET Ghana, Student Chapter in the promotion of practice of engineering and technology. That I will truly and consciously discharge my duties as for the chapter without fear or favor, affection or malice, and that I will at all times uphold, preserve, and protect the name of the institution of engineering and technology to the best of my ability. So help me God. Now that you have taken the oath of office, as officers, you may be privy to certain documents and certain secrets of the institution. So you have to swear an oath of secrecy. All that you are doing, after the swearing in, you will sign, and this document will be placed at the High Court. So should you go against what you have sworn, you'll be taken on. So know what you are doing. Oath of secrecy. Having been elected as for the student chapter of IET, I will do further swear that I will not directly or indirectly disclose such matters as shall be deliberated by the executives as well as other structures of the chapter committed to my secrecy, brought under my consideration, or come to my knowledge in discharge of my duties, except as may be required by law. So help me God. Congratulations.
I think we can do better. Let's give them a hand of applause. Now, President, let's congratulate them. Thank you very much, Engineer President, for this particular occasion. At this juncture, I think the students' chapter is fully inaugurated. I would like to introduce one of the engineers who just hopped in.
Can you send to them all lines and take some photos?
Yes.
So that one's okay.
Okay,
so let's do that before we finish with that.
All right. Within the Institution of Engineering and Technology, we have a different wings. One of the wings, the president is here. So I would like to call upon her to come and introduce herself, as we did before she came in. So,
Thank you, hello, and good morning to you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Engineer Anna Amakwamika. I'm currently the chairperson for the Women in Engineering Wing of the Institution of Engineering.
we can do better. We can do better. It's one of the vibrant leaders within the Institution of Engineering and Technology, and the president of the Women in Engineering. And they've been organizing a lot of programs. Just recently, they made some mentorship program within this institution. So the ladies among us, after this program, try and get in touch with her. When you get her contact, it will be well with you. Thank you very much. At this and with this oath, it is going to be for the new inductees and that of the students' membership. So we all take the oaths once before certificates are being issued to the inductees and then ID cards to the student membership. I'll call upon the president to come and take us through the oath. Let's give him a hand of applause.
Thank you, Northern Sector Chairman. I think Gianna, you didn't introduce yourself well. She's also a lecturer at Renewable and Energy Resources, University at Sunyani. Yes. And a civil engineer. A civil engineer. You don't normally get women doing civil. Okay, so you all rise. Why you didn't give them the students? They don't have the program. It wasn't enough.
On the WhatsApp platform is there the last page of the soft copy of the program
For the students.
And the new entrance we have it. So if you don't have the booklet, the students is there. I've posted it there. You look at the last page in the soft copy.
So these are the categories we are inducting to: professional engineer, professional engineering and technologist, engineering technician, engineering craft, and students members. So when I say I, then your name, then the category that you belong to, you made mention of it. If you are a professional engineer, you say I, Henry Kwadwo Boateng, as a professional engineer or as engineering, I think you get me. Okay. I pledge to dedicate my professional knowledge and skill to the advancement and betterment of human welfare. I pledge to give the utmost of my performance to give and participate in none but honest enterprise, to live and work according to the laws of man and the highest standards of professional conduct, to place service before profit, to honor and understanding of the profession before personal advantage, and the public welfare above all other considerations. In humility, and I with need for divine guidance I make this pledge, so must it be. Congratulations. So you'll be given the forms, you fill and sign.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can we be seated, please? At this juncture, we will do the presentation of certificates. So I'll call upon the Executive Secretary to come. When you hear your name, you walk in, you take your certificate slowly while the photographer takes the picture. So let us give him a hand of applause as he comes.
Engineer Albert Awupone. Engineer Emmanuel Issa Tahiru. Engineer Michael Atanga Nyaba. Engineer Daniel Alukore Adongo. Engineer Johnson Boateng Dumont. Engineer Louis Kaba. Engineer Christopher Amewuho. Engineer Martin Nienu. Engineer Ernest Kweku Penny. Engineer Frederick Ampati Frimpong. Engineer Samuel Ahin. Engineer Francis Wedi. Engineer Patrick Zevi. Engineer Augustine Blay. Engineer Delight Edem Oshi.
Anna, come on.
All right, so we changed our presenter. Executive Secretary, thank you very much. Yes. Engineer Mozifa Zoboku. Yes, continue. It's not. Engineer Michael Atiri. Engineer Joycelyn Anwa Buawa.
You are not clapping.
Engineer Eliabua Claudia. Engineer Abdul Kadeo. Engineer Tido Kutuba. Engineer Carl Mauli Ateti. Please, when you collect your file, kindly check the ID card is on top so that you don't misuse it. Engineer Charles Boateng. Engineer Michael Kwame Kofi. Engineer Frank Apia Ajay. Engineer George Edubuachi. George Edubuachi. Engineer Samuel Owusu Asare. Engineer Simon Oforia Sari. Engineer Catherine Akwe. Engineer Adam Sinusa. Engineer Yunus Teria Techi.
With the student membership, you have to do that. But there are plenty. That's all.
Thank you very much.
The institution, engineering practitioners at different levels, as well as them to the highest level of professional practice. Our institution was established some 37 years ago by a group made up of various classes of engineering and technology professionals. They were collectively bound by commitment for more dividend in their professional and career development. Having the opportunity to join IET at this time gives you a unique opportunity to pick up the challenge of joining forces with others to ensure the continual growth of the institution. The IET Council continues to dedicate itself towards the attainment of some key strategic objectives that will ultimately enhance the professional capacity of all members. Promotion of quality engineering practice and influencing policy decision affecting engineering and technology policy decision at all levels of governance. These objectives were aimed at ensuring an institution that is critical in promotion of quality engineering and technology practice as a catalyst to the nation's developmental agenda. Now that the Engineering Regulation 2020, LI 2410 has been finally passed by Parliament of Ghana into the legislative instruments, we are hopeful that the Engineering Council will work hard to ensure that the practice of engineering and technology continues to be done with the highest possible standards in Ghana, because they are the regulators. To enable you to be a fully appraised of the content of these LI as well as the Engineering Council Act, we have given you copies of them. So you take your time and you go through. Our part of IET, we will continue to play an active role within the Engineering Council to ensure that engineering and technology practitioners continue to do so with the highest possible standards in their professional practice of engineering and technology. This we shall continue to undertake with much stricter adherence to the IET Code of Ethics on members while tightening our scrutiny in the admission process for new members and upgrading of current members. For the upgrading, we organize continuous development program, as Professor Lanso said. On this note, distinguished inductees, I wish to reiterate to all of you that members of IET is a call to duty. You will shortly, you have been called already. I suppose I've given this speech before by the program change. As you have been called and taking professional oath, which you will be required to affirm your commitment to the highest level of professional practice for the dignity of profession and ultimate good for humanity. It is expected that you will take the charge very seriously and discharge it diligently by being active in your respective sectors, technical divisions, and committees. We have various divisions: civil and building, mechanical, we have electrical, and we have chemical. All of you will be put under these divisions. And we have, currently we have two sectors, the northern sector and the southern sector. On this note, distinguished inductees, now you have already been inducted. So you are members of, we are full engineers. I wish to reiterate to all of you that membership of IET is sorry. It is expected of you that you will take charge of various very seriously and discharge them diligently by being active in your respective status, as I said. To my dear new members, you have been inducted today into the Noble Association. You should know that the moment you have been ushered into this institution, irrespective of the membership or professional engineering class or category that you may find yourself, being a professional engineer, engineering crafts, you have a core duty to be professional in your dealings, particularly with relationship with the public, clients, employers, and other engineering practitioners. Now take notes with regard to your professional life. The engineering practitioners should cooperate in the extending of effectiveness of practice of engineering, science, and technology as a profession by interchanging information and experience with their engineering practitioners. You should avoid all conduct or practice likely to discredit or do injury to the dignity and honor of this profession. You should not improperly solicit professional work either directly or indirectly by an agent, nor should they pay by commission or otherwise any person who may introduce a client to you. Don't be taking commissions. With regard to relationship with the public, you hold a duty of care to the general public. You must know. The engineering practitioners should endeavor to extend public knowledge of engineering and technology. And you should discourage the spreading of untrue, unfair, exaggerated statements regarding engineering and technology. You must desist from that. You should have due regard for the environment. Very key. Those of you doing galamsey. The safety of life and health of the public and employees who may be affected by the work for which you are responsible in this regard should not undertake responsible engineering or works of technology for which you are not competent and qualified to do. If you are a civil, don't go and take work of electricals, because that is not your professional area. If you know you are not competent, you refer the person to a colleague engineer who have the qualification in that field. You should express opinion only when it is found on adequate knowledge and honest conviction while you are serving as a witness before court, commission, or other tribunals. You should not issue expert statement, criticism, or argument on matters connected with public policy which are inspired or paid for by a private interest unless you indicate on whose behalf you are making that statement. So you should take note of that. You should refrain from expressing publicly an opinion on an engineering and technology subject unless you are informed as to the facts relating thereto. So those of you who are found going to the media, whatever you say, you'll be responsible. You'll be held responsible for it. Don't do that unless you know what we are saying. Now, with regard to relationship with clients and employers, don't. You should not undertake responsible engineering and technology practices for which you are not competent and qualified. If you find yourself to be in ECG and you have been assigned to do some drainage work, you are electrical mind, please tell your bosses, this is not my area. If you find yourself to be in local government as a district engineer, you shouldn't make yourself Mr. Know-all. If it's not in your area, please let your employer know of it. Because most of the time, I remember when I was a municipal engineer for Sunyani, my coordinating director, she was a lady, the late Alebena. When her TV goes off, engineer come, my TV is off. My telephone is not working, engineer come and fix it for me. Once you are an engineer, they expect you to be fixing everything. Please tell them. You are not supposed to do that. As engineering practitioner, you should act in professional matters for your clients or employer as a faithful agent and trustee. Please. You should not be telling lies. Tell them the truth and the facts. You should act with fairness and justice between your clients or employer and other contractor with dealing with contracts. You have to be very careful when the contractors come, especially the local government engineers. Hello. You have to be fair. When your employer is doing something that is wrong, you tell the employer, please, what you are doing is not right. When they raise certificates, you should not be looking at faces before you pay. You have to do justice. Michael, you are a consultant. You know of this. You should make your status clear to your clients or employer before undertaking an engagement if you may be called upon to decide on the use of invention, apparatus, or any other thing in which you may have financial interest. So if you are an engineer, you've been employed. Maybe they are looking for a consultancy. You have a group which you have interest because you are a member of that group as well, and you lobby for them to get. You know the consequence. You shouldn't do that. Conflict of interest. You should guard against conditions that are dangerous or threatening to life or property on work for which you are responsible. Or if not responsible, you should promptly call such condition to the attention of those responsible. You should present clearly the consequence to be expected from deviation proposed if your engineering and technical judgment is overruled by non-technical authority in cases where they are responsible for the technical adequacy for engineering or technological work. It happens, especially in the local government. Some of the DCs behave as if they are engineers. You advise them and they will go contrary to your advice. Please put it on record, write it. Should anything happen, then you'll be exonerated. You should present clearly You should engage or advise your client to engage, and you should cooperate with other experts and specialists whenever the client or employer interests are best served by such service. So if you need expertise, your client needs expertise, please advise the client to engage. And you give direction. You should disclose no information concerning businesses, affairs, or technical processes of clients or employers without their consent. You cannot do that. You cannot disclose the secret of your company without the consent of your employer. You can't do that. You can't give out documents. You can't do that. Sometimes we do. Contractor comes and they will lure you out with money. Oh, get this and get me this document. Please, don't do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. You should not accept compensation, financial or otherwise, from more than one interested party for the same service or for the service pertaining to the same work without the consent of all interested parties. You know, lawyers, they don't do that. Like you are defending the accused, yes, you can't be on the accused and the complainant. No, you cannot do that. But some of them just they do. They do. Especially the cost one, the QS. They want a particular project, and he may be pricing for all the companies. It is wrong. It is wrong. If you are an engineer, you don't do that. You stick to one person. You shouldn't be doing concurrency thing. You price for them, and then the one that he paid more, then he figure will be more, so that you win. Please, you don't do that. It's wrong. It's against the ethics. You should not have any self-interest financially in the tenders of a contractor or competitive work for which you are employed as an engineer practitioner unless you have the written consent of the client or employer. I wonder if local government will allow you to do that. They will give you consent that, oh, you can. They will do it anyway. But they will never write it. When the issue comes up, they say, oh, it's my technical man, my technical officers. Yes. They will tell you, make sure this contractor wins. But they will never put it, if you push him to put it in writing, they will never do it. Because they know it is wrong. You should not be the medium of payment on behalf of client to the employer. Don't. If DC needs money, they go and do their Kululu thing. And you will be the agent going around to take money for them. It's dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Don't do it. Now, with regard to the other engineering practitioners, you will have other colleagues you may be working with. How do you treat them? The engineering practitioners should endeavor to protect the engineering and technology profession collectively and individually, from misrepresentation and misunderstanding. We have to guard against it. You should take care to ensure that credit of engineering work or technology is given to those whom credit is properly due. If it is not you, then nobody else. Please, if your colleague do something, when it comes to time for you to praise the person, do. Don't be undermining people. You should uphold the principle of appropriate and adequate compensation for those engaged in engineering works, including those in subordinate capacities, as being the public interest and maintaining the standard of the profession. Make sure your colleague professional, if you are in charge, whatever money is due them, please pay. You know, for the engineering practice, we normally have our charges coming from Ministry of Works and Housing, especially those who do consultancy. Please, if you are in charge, make sure you pay the right amounts. You should not impede, but rather endeavor to provide an opportunity for a professional development and advancement of engineering practitioners in your employment or working under them. So if you are head of an institution, make sure that other engineers who are under you, you bring them up. You should not directly or indirectly injure the professional reputation, prospect, or practice of another engineering practitioner. However, if you consider that an engineering practitioner is guilty of unethical, illegal, or unfair practice or professional misconduct, you should present the information to the proper authority for action. Please don't go and attack any professional. You can't do that. If you know the person, what the person is doing is unfair, is unethical, you just have to report to the various authority or various institutions in which that professional belongs to. You should not review or take over the work of another engineering practitioner for the same client until you have either obtained a consent of such engineering practitioner or have been formally notified by a client that the connection of such engineering practitioner work has been terminated. You don't go and undermine somebody and take his job. You don't do that. Yes. Missing for no years, I'm a board, you know, in those artisans, when you start work and you have some small issue with the clients, no mason will go and take that job unless you settle, and he will make sure he contacts the fellow who was doing it and have a clear conscience for him to before he can take up that project. So if an engineer and your fellow engineer have an issue with a client and it's not settled, please don't go and take that job. You should knowingly not compete on the basis of professional charges with another engineering practitioner for employment. You know, we have our fees, as I said. Ministry of Works and Housing normally gives out the fees. So if somebody is charging a client a particular amount, you should not go behind and tell the client, no, I can charge less, so give me the. You don't do that. It is a very bad habit against the ethics, so we don't do that. You should not knowing or unknowingly become associated with a responsibility for work with engineering practitioners who do not conform to ethical practices. Don't associate yourself with that. If you are a team and the group seems to be cutting corners, please move out. In conclusion, we should all be desirous as professional engineering practitioners of maintaining the spirit of professional excellence, togetherness, and the need to inspire towards excellence in practice of engineering as a catalyst to the development of our country. You are now highly placed, and we will be counting on you for your support continually. Keep the suggestion coming in, and let's join forces to keep IET flying towards its destination. Long live IET, long live professional practice of engineering and technology, long live Ghana. God bless us all. Thank you.